Hey everyone, if you live in Illinois, you especially need to listen up because we need to talk about the normalized concentration camps that are called ICE detention facilities. I'm going to be reading off of my personal report, so if you want to go check that out, go head over to YouTube and click the link in my description to access it, and there you'll be able to see all of the sources that I used to create this report. So let's get into it. So, first of all, the implementation of ICE detention centers across the United States has been met with outrage due to various human rights and civil liberty violations. Just the simple act of holding someone against their will because they're from a different country is inhumane, but when that's mixed with various forms of physical and psychological torture, it becomes a whole new level of insidious. In Illinois, there are 10 verified immigration detention facilities, which are being referred to as modern day concentration camps by many officials, advocates, and organizations conducting oversight into the facilities. Among the 10 verified immigration detention centers, there are other facilities that aren't necessarily verified, but they're still co opted, as they were described, which should be extremely concerning because anytime our federal government does anything, we want it to be verified, we want it to be documented, we want data on it, right? So that we know what's going on. But in these facilities, they're not allowing for any oversight, they're not allowing for data um, to be made about these facilities. It's just absolutely corrupt. And according to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, the so called immigration detention facilities are privately owned, which is similar to some prisons in the United States, while others are completely owned and operated by ICE. Immigration detention is not meant to be punishment, but evidence shows it's being treated as such. The USCIS admits that access to medical care, legal representation, and basic amenities is limited in ICE concentration camps. Despite the budget for DHS being in the billions, many hostages face challenges receiving adequate representation and resources due to various barriers like language or lack of education on pathways to gaining citizenship in the United States, and blatant racism from federal agents. It's also reported that ICE agents restrict people's right to contact their family for help. There are currently many lawsuits against the Broadview ICE concentration camp in Chicago from organizations such as the MacArthur Justice Center, ACLU of Illinois, Eimer Stahl, which is a Chicago law firm, along with many reports from independent activists who've witnessed human rights violations in and around the concentration camp. Testimony includes reports of rooms being overcrowded, people being forced to sleep in chairs or on the floor with no heating during the winter or AC during the summer. Hostages are sleep deprived due to the lights literally being kept on 24/7, denied access to medical treatment, and have no privacy. Witnesses note conditions such as blood and other bodily fluids left in the rooms remaining ignored, creating a very biohazardous environment. ICE agents, according to advocates and the people being held in the facilities, are using excessive force, verbal abuse, denying hostages access to food and water, and coercing people into signing deportation documents without giving detainees the proper information or any representation in court. Furthermore, agents are denying congressional representatives their duty to conduct oversight and are actively engaging in violence against our public leaders who challenge their authority. And it's good to challenge corrupt authority. It's good to challenge any authority on any level, but especially corrupt authority. DHS is unsurprisingly denying any and all claims of abuse in ICE detention centers all over the country. However, evidence contradicts that denial. This is just one facility of many in Illinois under public scrutiny for human rights violations. So, what can you do to be the change? First, you need to educate yourself on the true history of the United States and take off the rose colored glasses of white supremacy and neo Nazi propaganda that has you putting white people and capitalism on a pedestal. Next, humanize yourself and the people around you. Do not base somebody's value and character off of their citizenship status or ability or lack thereof to work. We are all human going through different phases and stages of life. We need true community and rehabilitation. not segregation. Also, educate yourself on the various resources you can use and organizations you can work with to help yourself and your neighbors, from reporting possible human rights violations and helping people on their pathway to citizenship to volunteering in your community. There are resources and organizations out there intended to help us. You can create your own way to give back and be on the right side of history through social media, education, connection, and or physical products. Regardless of the path you choose, there is something you can do to fight oppression and contribute to progression that fits into your schedule. Even if right now that's boycotting brands guilty of assisting in corruption and keeping yourself informed, educated, and thinking critically. Thank you again. Keep yourself informed and educated and in the loop. And yeah, peace and love, y'all.